everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to yet another episode of Family Karma Cast.
Yay.
I'm Indra.
I'm Deanna, and this is Family Karma Cast podcast.
Well, just keep saying that over
I know.
and over and over
We
again.
have a lot to get through.
Oh my gosh, this
today.
episode was...
It was a lot.
It was like... It was action-packed, I think.
We have some maintenance or administrative work to do beforehand. Indra, I want to ask how you're doing through this.
That's so kind of you.
Yeah.
I feel like, so what, this is we're fully 2 weeks in. I kind of can't believe that it's been 2 weeks already.
I think it's 2+. If we look at Colorado school closings, it was 2 weeks ago on Friday.
Yeah, so, we're coming, I guess I'm thinking about it in terms of, work weeks, so, and, it's very bizarre. I went outside of my house today, I got in my car and drove to my place of work, which, don't worry.
Which is shocking.
I was socially distanced.
Right.
I was very safe. Deanna and I met at the radio station that I work at and she's a volunteer at, and radio stations are considered essential services. So
that's good.
Yeah, I had to go in to do something for a couple hours, and just I didn't, even if I
Did you wear gloves?
I did wear gloves. If I had just gotten in my car and driven around for 20 minutes, I think I would have it actually felt good to just get out of my house.
Right.
And not be in my neighborhood and remember that there is something outside of the I don't know how many square feet it is, but the square mile that I live in, right?
I'll call it the abyss.
Yeah. But so I had a relatively okay day. How about you?
Oh, I texted you today.
Yeah.
Things were no bueno with me. Today it really hit me. Do you want to know how my husband and I mean, I love him to pieces, but we're just you're not, if someone says that they're meant to be with their partner for this long on top of each other, I'm going to slap you and strangle you. We are not, I didn't get married or choose my partner so we could be near each other this much. And so we've just kind of been getting on each other's nerves. He's handling it a little cooler than I am. Last night, I did the D-Nice dance party.
Oh my gosh. Why do I keep missing those?
I know. I was going to text you and I was she probably has baby stuff to do. The last thing she wants me to say is Alicia Keys in the house,
Dude,
So
I think you should absolutely text me next. I should just follow D-Nice. I don't know.
Yeah, because
why.
it's he's doing it. I think the next one's on Saturday. So anyway, we got into this dumb tiff of this is the one thing I look forward to all week. D-Nice, he plays all Indra knows what kind of music I love. I love 80s and 90s and old R&B. That's just my jam, and he's pumping it out. And so last night I was just kind of in my own world. And my husband just starts kind of complaining about the music a little bit, because what he does is he turns down. So say if Michelle Obama enters the live scene, he'll turn down the music and be Michelle Obama in the house, and then turn it back up, or Usher's in the house. And it was driving Andrew crazy because the sound quality wasn't very good.
Oh.
And then my youngest, my 4-year-old, starts getting on his side and was yeah, Mommy, turn it down. And I took my speaker and I was no one appreciates me and my music. And I went to my office and just sat there like a loser, looking at my little sad iPhone speaker. And my oldest is so sweet. He came in and he was I care about your music. And I was thank you so much. And so it just has gone downhill from there.
Well, that is so sweet of your child. I feel those are the things.
It's pathetic.
It's pathetic, but
it's the thing that sent me over the edge.
But you have to remember the little bright spot, right? That your son came
I know,
and
he's my
comforted
heart,
you.
my oldest.
That's so sweet.
And so like today wasn't great. I kind of like woke up and it's just like really hitting me that this is the long haul and like the honeymoon period for me is completely over. And it's just like the homeschooling, the managing work, like the dogs just like kind of like looking at you like why we liked this at first, but why are you all here? This is our time. Like
Like,
it's
I
like
want to take a nap for the next 9 hours and
I
you're just bothering
know.
me.
And the thing
Yeah.
is like my sons like all of a sudden learned about like saying diarrhea, and so everything is about diarrhea and laughing and like showing their butts at each other and mooning, and it's like it's just like being the only female, and you're gonna experience this like being in like all testosterone is like a lot for
Well,
me.
I grew up with two brothers.
Oh yeah, how was your
So,
bathroom?
oh, it was relatively clean because my mom did a good job keeping it
Right.
clean. But, like, I don't know. I've been used to male energy my whole life, so it doesn't bother me that much. But there are times we have two dogs and one is a female dog, and sometimes I'm like, we're the only girls
I
here.
know. I know, same. How are your dogs doing?
Oh, they're good. It's kind of the same thing. Like, I feel like they're totally out of their routine. And I think like maybe it's hitting you now because like your kids are a little bit older and like you can like not be attached to them at all times.
Right.
But like with an 8-month-old baby, you kind of have to be like watching them or holding them or doing something with them at all times. So this all like kind of hit me 2 weeks ago. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't even get like 2 weeks of this is going to be really hard. And then I was like, over the past 2 weeks, I've been like, nope, it's going to be like months.
Months.
Like
And that's like
it's going to be
the thing
months.
is like I'm not sure if people who don't have kids are giving you advice, but
Um,
that's the tough pill to swallow. Of
no, you know
like
what? No one has been dumb enough to give me advice who doesn't have kids. Like, I think they know that I would just like lose control.
it's like tough because my friend, I won't name his name, but like I love him. He doesn't have kids, and he was like, just like teach him an instrument or like put on a
Oh
video. And then he
no.
said, "Don't worry, like they'll just be going to school in the summer." And I was like, "I don't think you understand. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be there's going to be no summer school. It doesn't work like that. It's not like you can get the teachers back for the summer. It's going to be no school until the
No,
next
because
year."
the teachers are all working right now too. Like all this
Right.
distance learning and everything. It's like everyone's on a like Google whatever trying to like
Everyone's on Zoom. Oh my God. I know Zoom. I know Google Hangouts. I know all of this bullshit. Seesaw, Epic Reads, like all this stuff.
wow.
And it's like weird because the teachers don't use one platform. Like you think if like you're in a district, you're like, this is the platform we use and this is like the code for this room and the code for that room, but every single teacher we have uses a different
Yeah,
platform.
because they're
So
all learning it like on
yeah.
the fly too. So it's just like a shit show. Everything is just a shit show right
Can I
now.
talk about a shit show?
Yes.
And his name is Mr. Jax Taylor.
Jax is
Okay.
like our favorite topic of
Okay,
conversation.
I know. It's like I feel like so I asked you if you knew what a cameo is. And
Yeah. I
I
did
have
not know what a cameo was. So maybe some of our listeners don't either.
Okay, so a cameo is so say like if I'm maybe Bali's on it, and if I'm like, oh, I want Bali to say happy birthday to Indra, I could go to Cameo, look up Bali. She has I pay like X amount of dollars, and then she sends Indra, and I give her your information, and then she sends you a message like happy birthday or congratulations on the new job,
Like a video message?
or like Deanna loves you and she's just thinking of you right now.
Okay.
So in my free time, I scope out random people's cameos. Like we're talking like Carrot Top,
Oh my
Gilbert
God.
Godfrey. Like name someone like just in the upside down, I'll call it. Okay, like not A-list, but like, you know, you can get like Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives of New York. I don't even actually know if she's on there, but like you can get LVP, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Guess how much Jax Taylor's are?
Well, I
And I
don't have
think it's
any
like,
frame of reference. Like,
it's
I don't
like,
know how much it normally costs.
I know. So I'll give you, okay, so I'm going to do a couple.
Okay.
So to give you, okay. So, do you know who Debbie Gibson is?
No.
Oh my God, I'm so old. Ugh.
Should
Do
I
you
know who
know?
that is?
Yeah, she was. It's aging me. Do you know who are these? Tom Schwartz.
From Vanderpump?
Yeah, so he's $150.
Okay, per message.
Oh no, that's Tom and Tom.
Both of them?
Yeah, so you could get them for 150.
Okay.
Oh God, who are these? It's like, who are these people?
Well,
Musicians?
that's a good frame of reference because they're
Lisa
all on
Loeb is $50.
That's it?
I know. It's like Andy Dick. Do you know who he is?
Oh, yeah.
He is, which I hope he's in I love him very much. He's $99.
Okay.
I'm like, do I keep going?
No. Okay.
Okay.
So now
Perez
I'm going to
Hilton.
guess.
Okay, how much is
How much is Perez?
$90.
So Jax, I'm going to guess, is 200.
No, actually is $140.
Jax's?
Yeah. And he's donating the money, I think. Oh, guess how much Farrah Abraham is? Abraham?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who she is?
She's
Did you go through being pregnant and watching? When I was pregnant, I watched so much Teen Mom.
Oh, was that who that is?
Yeah.
I kind of got to know her like after she was famous just because she was like, I don't
everywhere.
know, around. And I was like, who is that person? Whatever.
Okay, can we speak about someone?
Okay.
And we were going to, and I was like, nope, we got to speak about this person on air.
Oh.
Who am I going to say?
Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Okay, so listeners, I think you all need to know something about me.
It was one of the first things I actually learned about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that means it's something that, like, people who have known me for a really long time, like my high school friends and my college friends, they all, like, know this about me. And that is that, like, I have had a lifelong crush and obsession with Ben Affleck, which is, like, it was cool for a while because when he was young, he was, like, hot and talented.
He was so hot. In Good Will Hunting, he was so hot.
And he was so talented and all this stuff. And then, like, everything went to shit. Like, he made that horrible movie with J-Lo.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you, like, slicked back hair?
Oh, no.
Like Ben Affleck walking the red carpet?
Honestly, I have to say, once he got on the train with J-Lo, that's when everything went downhill. Because that's when he started, like, his drinking problem really got out of control.
Oh, interesting.
They made that horrible movie. And then he just started making really bad movies, like one after another. And, like, then he went to rehab a few times and whatever. So then he kind of, like, went downhill. Then he got, like, back up in people's esteem because he started...
Then
dating
he got his
Jennifer Garner.
Chest tattoo. No, his back tattoo.
No, that was after Jennifer Garner. So then, like, I feel like the 10 years he was married to Jay Garn were, like, great. Like, the benefit years.
Were they together for 10 years?
Yeah, they have 3 kids together.
I guess, yeah. Their oldest is so cute, the one with the glasses.
They're all cute. And, like, they met on the set of a movie, and then they were together for 10 years.
Was it Daredevil?
Yeah, and during that time, he, like, won an Oscar for Argo and, like, did all these things and was kind of, like, getting into everyone's good graces again. And then, like, it turned out he had, like, a gambling addiction.
Right.
He started drinking again. Then he, like, fucked the nanny.
I forgot about that. Him and Gavin.
Yeah.
Remember Gavin?
Oh, yeah. That
Rosdale?
was such a huge scandal.
Oh, my God. Do you know what I pictured with the Gavin Rosdale? Because she kind of had a Gwen Stefani wannabe vibe.
Yeah.
I pictured, like, Gwen giving her a lot of, like, clothes in her closet that she just didn't wear.
Yeah.
And, like, the nanny wearing them and, like, then having sex with Gavin Rosdale, which is all just so wrong.
Yeah.
That's just, like, what happens in my head. You know, that's what I thought.
So then there was that. And then, like, recently he had some good press again.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he
New
got
York
hot.
Times. Well, he is hot.
He is hot.
Let's just
I know.
admit, Ben Affleck is a good-looking man. Like, all of his faults aside, he's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
He became Batman, and that was, like, not great. Not a good look for him.
Did you see that?
I don't think I ever even
Was
saw
Katie
it.
Holmes in that one?
No, that was, like, the good ones with Christian Bale.
Oh, yeah.
And,
okay.
like, Heath Ledger and stuff.
Okay.
And then, like, now he's just, I mean, I don't know if anyone cares about his whole history.
I mean, I care. I'm
But
like
now,
hanging on the edge of my like seat.
The latest tea with him is he's dating that, like, beautiful Cuban actress from Knives Out. Her name is
she in Knives Out?
Yeah, she's, like, the main actress in that.
And she's also
drama.
in the new Blade Runner.
And that's where they met, I think.
On the new Blade Runner?
They met on a movie set. So no,
oh,
it
I
wasn't
think it's
Blade
a movie
Runner.
that hasn't come out.
Yeah.
Did you see Blade Runner?
No.
Okay, so I have to say, sorry to just side note,
Yeah.
the star of Blade Runner. I love the movie because Ryan Gosling's coat should have won an Oscar because that coat was amazing. like he wears this jacket. It's like a long jacket, and it was like it carried the whole movie.
I have not
It's
seen
so
it.
good. Like, just watch it for the jacket. Keep going. But she's like one of the main women in it, and she's so good in
and
it.
so she's gorgeous.
Of
and
course.
she's
And
Cuban.
I think she's the new Bond girl.
And did you hear that she's going to play Marilyn Monroe?
What?
Yeah, and actually it's kind of like, how does she look like that? And then if you really look at her, she does look like her.
I mean, let's think of the people that have played Marilyn Monroe. We have Michelle Williams. We have Lindsay Lohan in those pictures someone took of her.
No.
I mean, we have all these people.
She's going to be so much better than all of them. And she's like a good actress too, you know?
Okay.
I'm not that Michelle Williams is a good actress also, but
Michelle
anyway.
Williams didn't really, I don't know, the My Time with Marilyn or whatever that movie was, that was a tough watch to watch her in that film.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. It won
yeah.
an Oscar. I think she won an Oscar for that, but...
Anyway,
yes, so the reason why we're talking about her.
Yeah, so
I'm
Ben
sorry.
Affleck is like dating her now, and there have been photographed all over LA, like making out everywhere, which I'm kind of like, okay, if they're
Fine.
dating, they're going on
Yeah.
walks with her dog, and they're like kissing because they're like in a new relationship, whatever. But then you say he's been going to Starbucks every day.
Just like going to Starbucks every day. Nothing like the coronavirus that makes you crave going to
is
Starbucks.
Starbucks even open? It must be.
It must be because they're just ready. And the thing
Maybe
is,
they're
okay,
going to the drive-through.
They're walking, though. Are they walking through?
You know
Okay.
what?
Can
Maybe you
someone
got to
make
do
a
what you got to
sketch?
do.
I wish I was an artist because I would just do sketches of just like Ben Affleck and his new hot tater, whatever her name is, walking through the drive-thru. And it's like, even then, it's like, are they wiping it down with Clorox wipes?
I mean, like, have you gotten any to-go food, like delivery?
I have, because I want to
so it's the
support
same
Tandoori
idea.
Grill. Do you know Tandoori?
Oh, yeah, tandoori next door. Oh, so speaking of Indian culture in Boulder.
I know. So I've gotten Tandoori twice.
Yeah.
Because I know that they were doing... Do you know who Gurjeet is? She's the owner.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about her.
So Gurjeet owns it, and she, like, my friend, my next door... Because she's in my book club, even though I don't go to the book club. So she sent an email out to everyone in book club to, like, go you know, to Tandoori or whatever.
Support local businesses.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, it's, like, down the street.
You know, we've been ordering in from a few different
where?
places, and they're like, they all have really good deals. I mean, we don't need to talk about it. Nobody
I know.
knows
Well,
what
you
we're
can
talking
email me.
about.
I think, like, talking about good deals, I want to talk about a bad deal, and his name is Jax Taylor.
Yeah, $140 for him to say like some bullshit thing.
Here's the deal.
Ugh.
He's a piece, like, okay, and, like, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but, like, for those of us that watch Vanderpump, he's not, like, a stand-up kind of dude, right? So he blocked us on Twitter, which is no surprise. And so Ira Madison, who has a really good podcast called Keep It by Crooked Media, he posted this today. And this is Jax Taylor's response to why he blocks people on Twitter. I know a lot of people are out of work and are having rough time, and that sucks, and I'm sorry, but I feel like this is a punishment from the man upstairs. I really think he's tired of the way we treat people. He's tired of how we treat the planet. Probably thinks some of us are ungrateful. I mean, I could go on and on, but this is like a serious time out for the world. When we come out of this, we need a change for the better. All of us need a wake-up call. We need to change our ways because obviously it wasn't working and we needed a punishment, and this is it. The true test will be how we come out of this. And when we do, remember what it was like when our freedom was taken from us. Let's show the man upstairs we can do better for ourselves and humanity.
Oh my
He's
God.
done so much for us. It's time to pay him back. Cross emoji, heart emoji.
Oh my God, I want to punch him in the
Thoughts?
face. The last thing I need is someone like Jax Taylor telling me that I am ruining the planet. I'm like, you are the worst human being on the face of the planet.
He is not a kind person. Would you call him a kind person?
No, he's a sociopath. He does not care about other people's feelings.
No.
He just does whatever he wants. And
the fact they had, you've probably read about this in the tabloids. Like, he had a preacher who publicly was against the LGBT community on Twitter. Like, it wasn't like hearsay. They had tweets, anti-trans tweets from him, homophobic tweets.
Yeah.
And this was all like, and everyone was giving him a hard time, and he wasn't even bothered by it until he was confronted on
So this
screen.
was the preacher that they had at their wedding.
Yes. But then,
because Brittany is from like a conservative family.
Yeah, I
Christian
bet
family in
Jax
Alabama.
voted for Trump.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
and I bet Brittany did. Like, I think, and it's like, listen, if he's changed, like, punch me in the face, because I don't know. As Wendy Williams says, I'll eat crow. Like, I will literally eat crow, because he is such a despicable human being. And I want to stop hearing people saying this is God's punishment.
Yeah.
Like,
have you been hearing that a lot?
Yeah, I've read it because I've just been reading, like, just
But has
because,
anyone actually said that to your face?
not to my face, but just like freelance, just getting ideas for articles and stuff. I've been going into like kind of like a little bit of like religious darkness.
Yeah.
And especially like I'm working on this piece now about like conversion therapy with the LGBTQ community. So I've been getting updates about it, and then it's a lot of faith stuff about like, you know, a lot of people in Christianity believe that this is God like punishing us, or this is the end. I mean, if you want to go to the extreme, some people believe this is the beginning of the end.
Like we're all going to be wiped out by
and then it's like the
viruses.
whole thing is like the Christians that's believed in God this whole time are going to
They'll
go to
be
heaven.
saved,
And
yeah.
then for me, it's like I'm just going to burn in hell, and I'll see everyone and have a party with them. But like,
I'll be there too. Don't worry about it.
it's just like it's so inappropriate, and to throw religion and faith in people's face, and plus like being a good human when you're not a good human is like despicable.
No, I
to
think
me.
that's I could go on for days about this, but it's
Give
really,
us 1 minute. Please go 1 minute.
I just think that it's a lot of people use religion as their like moral compass and they use it as a way to just like kind of wipe everything clean without actually thinking like, what am I doing in my everyday life to be a good person? Instead of just being like, well, I believe in God, or God is telling me to do this and that, whatever. It's like, he's not responsible, or whatever you think God is not responsible for you being a good person. Like,
No.
you need to be a good person, and morality doesn't have to do with that, like with some deity, whatever it is.
And I think the shocking thing is when like you're a Bravo celebrity with a huge LGBTQ following.
Yeah, totally.
And you're clutching on to these beliefs that are homophobic and transphobic.
Yeah.
It's so questionable to me. Of
I know,
like, why are
especially-
we giving lip service to these people?
I can't believe Lisa keeps him on her show.
I know.
I mean,
I
she's
know.
like, what? She's so proud of her, like, stance in the LGBTQ
And
community.
that's the one thing. I have my problems with Lisa, but her dedication to the
Yeah.
LGBTQ community and to animals is like something that I can't even touch.
Yeah. And
You know, like that
totally.
she's off limits for that.
But she allows Jax to be on her show because he's just such a shit show that
Yeah,
like,
he gets ratings. And I was like excited for the new season because they do bring in a couple of new people
yeah.
to kind of like, it's like the old guard versus the new guard, but they totally failed or brought, like it just didn't work out. Like the new cast falls short.
Yeah.
And it's like they half-assed. I'm not going to say half-assed. They were probably doing their best, but they could have stepped it up. No one's queer on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Or that we know of.
well, Ariana's bi.
Oh, she
And-
is?
Yeah, and the
Oh.
new girl is bi, but they had someone who is trans on it, which they kind of pushed out of all the storylines. Her name's
Yeah.
Billy, and I don't know why she was pushed out. But like I don't know. I think like just to bring up family karma and stuff.
Yeah, because we're almost like
I
30
know.
minutes in.
I know. 30 minutes in, it's just like we're seeing characters that are so in our society that Bravo attracts, like I said, the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
But they're not really highlighting it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like Family Karma is doing a really good job
Exactly.
of like highlighting a lot of perspectives within a community that I think a lot of people have a lot of like stereotypical attitudes about, and it's kind of like breaking a lot of those down, which I think.
Do you
want
want to jump around a little bit so we don't just go step by step, or how do you want to do it? Because I have a lot to say about Vishal, and I'm not sure if we should cover him.
Well, let's just go through, and then when we get to
Okay.
it, you can just talk about it.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of golden stuff on this episode.
Right.
This episode is like the big Fire Tower celebration, which I have to say, like, there wasn't very much of it. It was a little disappointing. Like, they didn't show very much from that actual event.
No, and I think the thing, I think everyone looked beautiful, and of course the thing that catches my eye at Fire Tower is the one person that's in the flannel shirt.
Who was? I missed that.
It was like Andrew's like, wow, you have an eye for detail, but like it was like he was dancing and he was in the flannel shirt, and I was like,
Was he Indian?
yeah.
Oh my God.
It seems like, I don't know. And that being said, I felt like the cast brought it to an 11.
With their outfits?
Yes. I
sure.
think Amrit was in the gold.
Yeah. And Vishal?
Vishal looked so handsome.
Vishal?
It's like to wear white and like a pale pink.
Floral?
I thought he looked so beautiful.
I didn't really even I noticed everyone's outfits, but his like really stood out to me.
Did you like it, or?
I thought it was a bold choice. I did like it. I actually think it looked good on him, but it was a bold choice. It stood out because it was like most people wear like darker colors, and he was like, I'm going to wear this like white and pink thing.
I have a question about that shirt that him and Amrit were wearing.
Oh yeah.
Is that starched to stand like that? Because
I don't know.
do you know what I mean? The fabric looked so stiff.
It
was
stiff.
something that
it's very like it's like thick fabric that's like it's almost like the fabric that you use to make a bra out of, because it's like it's really molded.
I wouldn't know because my bras are basically like half t-shirts because I don't have a chest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's made out of, but it is very stiff fabric.
But
and it's
do you know
meant
what I'm
to
saying?
stand up like that, yeah.
And so I thought those two looked so handsome.
Yeah, they looked great. And so before we got there, I just want to mention a couple things that I thought were kind of funny. So they were like showing earlier in the day for Diwali, like everyone was getting ready at their houses. They were doing pujas and they were like setting out, they were making food, and they were like putting up decorations and stuff. And can I just say that my new favorite character is Anisha's mom, Chitra?
I wrote down LED grape grapes.
She's
Iconic.
like, why do we have
She
these
called
LED
her own
grapes?
She called them iconic, which is like one of my favorite words to use. And you know what? She's not wrong.
Yeah, and then I love her so much. I feel like her and Anisha just like are so deadpan in the
I
way they
know.
talk to each other, and like it's just amazing. So,
Well, and I think it's really good seeing. I think the thing also with these Bravo shows, it's a lot of women not getting along. It's like hot and cold.
yeah,
And to see women on screen getting along and mothers and daughters getting along,
yeah, you're right.
it's a real treat as a viewer.
It is. It is nice that the focus is so much on the family relationships. Like it's not just like the young people having all their drama. It's like the parents and stuff are like actually really involved in the storyline, which is cool.
And also, I love how it's like, because there are storylines in the housewives between the moms and the daughters. And if they get along, it's usually the daughter is trying to become like an Instagram model, and the mom is like trying to fuel that. And there's none of that momager kind of stuff. Although we'll get to the dresses. We'll get to the dresses.
But like, oh, I hope it doesn't happen in the second season.
I don't think so. I think with a lot of these housewives, like the kids grew up semi-famous, and so it's like they're just so used to it. And then we talked to like our friends on Family Karma, and they're just getting into social media, and this world is like the social media world. They're so new to it, and they're not being thirsty on it. They're just kind of being real.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I think you're totally right about that. So then they're like, so all of them are doing stuff, and then there's like a little bit of, we see behind the scenes with Monica and her dad and Brian and his mom.
So much to say. Well, I was talking about Raj, and am I saying his name?
Well, yeah, it's Raj.
Raj
like
and
garage.
Monica.
Yeah.
So much to say about that.
What do you have to say?
So with Raj, their love for each other.
Oh my God, they are so cute.
Is beyond anything I think I've witnessed, especially on television. It's like I was watching them eat and talk to each other, and I was like, I hope I have a relationship like 3/4 of what theirs is with one of my children, or both of them preferably. Like it's like indescribable.
They talk so openly and honestly with one another.
I know.
It's like so adorable, and they're
so protective of each other.
Yeah, I know. But then you can kind of see like where that is a detriment. Raj is like, I feel like I'm keeping Monica from like exploring things in her own life, and that's probably kind of true, like
I do think Monica, I don't know what her sign is, and I'd be curious to know when her birthday is.
I want to know what everyone's sign is,
because I think she was born to be a caretaker, though.
Oh yeah,
I think this is like so.
Which sign is like caretakery?
Fuck all if I know. I'm just trying to sound really smart, but like I was listening to this podcast about like your sign and like what you're supposed to be doing right now, with what your sign is, because like the signs are coming out of like your destiny through this
through coronavirus.
Yeah. Isn't that really
so
funny?
What sign are you?
I'm a Taurus, but I don't know what my moon rising in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess it's more than what your sign is. It's like based on those. But Ryland is a Cancer, my oldest, and he is like the heart right now.
I think they are caretakers.
Yeah, and so like I'm wondering, is this so weird to wonder when her birthday is? Because I don't think she was manipulated into this role.
No.
This is who she is, and I think.
And they say that like they didn't expect her to be like so into traditional Indian life, and she just is, because I mean it seems like she kind of assumed that role when her parents split up and she moved in with her dad. Like that explains a lot of it, I think.
I just wrote so much delicious food.
Oh my God, so much food.
I can't take all this cooking. Like I just can't take it.
That's like such an important part of Indian life.
But it's so hard watching.
So Brian's like trying to make food with his mom and just like fucking it up. And then
I
they like
loved it.
show him dancing in his socks, which like, what is the deal? He's like a
Well,
sock
we
collector.
know how many we know how many socks Brian has.
Like
And
a million.
I actually saw on this MTV Cribs a while ago because I don't know. I feel like MTV Cribs comes out up in pop culture conversations a lot. And I forget who it was, but like this one guy on Cribs, I want to say he was an artist or something. He would buy socks and wear them one time and then throw them out. Again, this is like the early
No.
2000s. So it's like we didn't know a lot about conservation and we knew a lot about pollution. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we knew. I think some people were just like, I have a lot of fucking
Don't
money
give a
and I'm going to
fuck.
just never wear the same socks more than once.
And I had another question.
Yeah.
So I loved how we went into all the homes for the holiday.
Yeah.
I wrote the cleanup. Do you leave the candles burning when you go to?
When you go to the party.
Yeah.
I
and
think
like
you
who's cleaning
do.
up all these powders? Housekeepers?
The housemaid.
Which no judgment. No. Oh yes, Indra, I totally forgot they lived with them.
Yeah, they talk about that, except we haven't seen any of them.
No.
I think we saw one at one point.
They're the little elves working
But
behind.
Can we, speaking of the houses, can we just talk about how beautiful Anisha's kitchen is?
I just think
like-
it's like I'm moving to Miami next year. Like this is right.
Can we move in and like
Oh
just
my gosh.
stay in your kitchen?
I will be a little elf like cleaning your. I won't do a very great job, but I will clean your floors. If you feed
I will clean
me.
up. So then, speaking of the powder, I thought this was really funny. They're like, Brian, what's Rangoli? And he's like, I have no fucking idea. And I was like, you know what? I can so relate to that. Like, when you're an Indian American kid of like Indian immigrants, like you're constantly going between like being Indian and being American.
Right.
And there are things that get lost in translation. And I feel like,
Would you been able to do that?
no, I have no idea. I had no idea what that is. I love how he's like, "Can I phone a friend?" And he
He's
like
so
calls his
cute.
mom. But yeah, so it was nice seeing everyone kind of doing all that stuff together. And
I also made a note. So Anisha's talking to her mom, and her mom's like keeps moving and like cleaning stuff and setting things up. And I put Anisha's mom's like me. We never stop like doing stuff.
yeah, because
Like I can't sit
you
down
gotta
in my house.
multitask.
Do you do that? Like I can't sit
Yes.
down in my like if someone's over, I will be like doing stuff like
Yeah.
wiping a counter,
Yeah,
fiddling with something
because it's like it's lost time otherwise, right?
yeah.
It's like I can't just sit down and talk with you. I could
No.
be cleaning this
I
like
know. Is that messed
table
up,
over
though?
here. I think as a mother, like you're just busy all the time,
Yeah.
and it's just a habit probably. At some point in your life, you'll be able to stop doing that, and you'll be able to just like sit down and like
And relax.
not do that.
Well, especially right now, I think it's
Yeah.
it's interesting how you're talking, or I'm seeing people on social media that are just like, I'm hanging out, and I'm like, I haven't sat on a couch.
No, I
And-
am not
and, like-
doing any hanging out. I am just being stressed all day. And that's because we have kids. Like, have you
Yeah.
seen all those like things that are like, I'm working on my personal life and all these
Oh, my
things
God.
when they don't have kids. And then like, if you do have kids, it's like, you just can't get anything done. It's the worst.
No, I'm trying to like work on that. So I'm writing a YA book, and I'm trying to work on that, and
Yeah.
just like that feels like I'm like treating myself or something, and like I could do like 5 things before working on my book. You know what I
Totally.
mean? Because it feels like selfish or something.
I know. But you know what? You have many months ahead of you.
I know.
to,
it's so
to break
sad.
those habits and get into something new. Okay, so we see all those like things, and then Vishal and Amrit are talking about like going to Fire
Yeah.
Tower together, and Amrit is like, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to Anisha, and they're like basically talking about talking to Anisha in Bali. And then they like show Anisha and
With
they
their
kinda-
mama.
and she talks to Chitra, her mom, about it, and her mom is like, You need to sit down and talk to him
Yeah.
about it. It's like, don't just like gossip about it all day. Like, you guys need to figure this out. And it's like, yeah, duh. But she's like, but don't talk to him at Fire Tower. Like, that's a really stupid idea to do that there. And I have to say, that was good advice. Like, don't get into it.
But I do wish she went to Fire Tower.
I know, but I'm also glad that she didn't go, because then they showed that amazing clip of her at her dinner table with Grandpa.
Oh, was sharding?
She's like, do you know what a shart is? And then her mom is like, it's when you fart and a little shit comes out.
I know. I was like, stars, they're just like us.
Oh my God. That was my favorite moment of the episode, actually. I just have to say that. But, okay, so then we get to Fire Tower, and Vishal has a series of
my God
hilarious one-liners, including
hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too. It's like, I'm going to need a drink before we have a conversation with Anisha.
Oh my God.
And Vishal's like, hashtag me too. And Amrit's like, I don't think that's what you're supposed to say. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, oh my God, you really didn't know that, Vishal?
That is so amazing.
But Vishal, what a guy. Maybe he really is the village idiot. Who knows? That is pretty mean, though.
I know that's taking it too far, but I want to say we met the friend of the cast, our podcast, Dylan.
Oh yes! Oh my
friend
gosh!
of the podcast, Dylan.
Dylan has his own podcast.
He has his own podcast. Him and I go back and forth on Twitter. And we got to meet him. Very handsome, very cute, and we find out that him and Amrit
have made out. Not once. At least twice.
Yeah, but it's like, I think they planted that, but I don't know. I don't see them making out again, because it's like, some of us have made out with our friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It seemed to me like it happened a while back. But it was kind of like, Amrit was definitely kind of bragging about it. Like, you can definitely tell that he, like, enjoys playing the field a little bit. That's the sense that I got.
I guess I didn't look at it from that standpoint, but I can see it now.
Well, because later when they show him with Nicholas, like, they're definitely trying to make you
Nicholas.
think that he's not as into the relationship as Nicholas is, and that he's like trying to like kind of keep his options open and whatever. And I don't know if that's really the case.
But like, what's gonna happen with him and Nicholas if he's starting the firm up? And like, why would you want to go back to Chicago? Like, okay, like
no, not
from
like
Miami. Like living the cush life in Miami, but it's so cold in Chicago.
It's so cold. Miami has great weather. Your mother is feeding you fruit all day. Like, you're living the life. I also love Amrit's dog. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that poodle.
Such a cute little dog.
Did we learn that
big
name?
Dog. No, what is the name of that?
I don't know. We know Simba.
It's oh my God, they said it like 10 times and I can't remember. It's a 4-letter dog name. We'll figure it out. But, okay, so we met
I wrote
Dylan.
Brian's mom's dress, and I don't know what she was wearing.
Oh, I can't remember either, but
so
I'm assuming you wrote it down because you liked it.
Yes.
And Brian shows up. He's never been to Fire Tower, and he's, like, looking around at all the hot girls. Being
I know.
Like, in another life, I would be, like, trying to figure out who I'm going to take home, but I'm the, like, new and improved.
So much to say about that. No, so much to say, but we'll get it to when he's talking to Monica.
Oh, later on in the show, yeah.
So much to say.
Then there's that hilarious scene where Vishal, Amrit, and Brian go
God.
out.
Are you talking about when Vishal gives advice?
Yeah, and he's like, it takes 2 to say no.
And
Amrit is like, I think it takes 2 to tango. And then Vishal says, it's a Vishal phrase. So that leads me to believe that Vishal kind of messes up idioms like that a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to plant, this is my theory.
Okay.
There has never been really a character written in reality television or written into a movie or a show that's like Vishal.
What do you mean?
I just think that he has so many layers that are just like, he keeps coming out of left field with things. And I feel like right now we've seen so much reality television as viewers. Like we've seen so many movies, we've seen so many television shows. Like we're surprised by like Tiger King and stuff like that. But Vishal's like really coming hard of like, we needed this person on television because he is unlike anyone.
He does have like because like throughout the first 4 episodes, he's definitely had like many different sides to him, as you're saying.
Yes,
like, at first you're like, oh, I feel bad for him,
or like he's so
just a
sweet.
Puppy dog.
Yeah,
and then it's like by the end of this episode, it's kind of like, man, why can't you just apologize?
or just like, how did your relationship with your girlfriend or your fiance start? And I'm not quite. I think it's like different for everyone, and he's just like.
He didn't take no for an answer.
And again, I think he said like things are tied to his Crohn's disease and that's another layer.
The stress stuff, yeah.
The stress and the Crohn's disease is like we don't have characters on television that are dealing with that even.
Oh my God. Can we also mention that Vishal tested positive for COVID-19?
I know.
Vishal, we really hope you're doing okay.
Has he given updates on, I'm trying to get off the gram
much. What he said in his like announcement was that he didn't have any symptoms. The reason he got tested was because he was in contact with someone who did test positive.
Oh, interesting.
And then he did as well. But it seems like, I mean, he posts these videos of him like doing ab workouts all the time.
Well,
so I'm assuming he's feeling okay. I mean, I guess it can take like a few weeks or whatever.
I think the interesting thing is like, I think he might be my favorite character on Family Karma.
Really?
Is that so weird?
Well, he's a good
I love
one.
the women. I do love the women, but like,
why is he your favorite?
Because like he's a nut that I cannot crack.
So you like the fact that like you can't really figure out his deal.
I feel like he is like an onion. Like there are just so many layers to him.
Oh my gosh.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And I think we have to discuss some of the tweets that came out last night from the cast. Did you see it on Twitter?
No, because I've stayed away because I watched it today and I didn't want any spoilers.
So we'll talk about it at the end because I want us to have a conversation about what we think is going on with that whole situation before we talk about the cast and what they like had like a whole fight kind of on Twitter about it.
Oh no.
So there's a lot
so what happened?
Like
Can you
it's
go?
Pretty savage. Well,
do you understand what I'm saying about Vishal though?
Yeah, totally. I totally do. I think he's going to be the most interesting to kind of see evolve over the season.
Okay, this sounds really weird, but like this is his show because not his show, like meaning like, again, everyone's strong characters, but we're seeing him unravel a little bit. What's like a movie where it's like the breaking of this character? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally. It's
like,
definitely.
And I'm not saying they're trying to break him, but it's like, again, he's like the onion unpeeling, and this is kind of becoming his therapy.
Yeah. To
bring him closer to the truth in his life. I know that sounds really like heady and stuff, but
no, yeah. Well, I bet these reality TV shows, like when people are on them, it probably because they're thinking probably at all times when there's a camera rolling, like how is this going to look to other people? And so that like automatically involves a lot of self-reflection, I think.
That's exactly it.
And like he's not making himself into one kind of character.
No, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
it's like he comes off good sometimes and he doesn't come off good.
Yeah.
And you can tell the intentions are good, but it's like, ooh, like
he kind of gets in his own way.
Yeah, he gets in his own way, and I think it's like we've seen so many complex female characters on Bravo.
Yeah.
Which we're definitely seeing it in this show. It's interesting to see this complex person of color, straight male character come to life on Bravo.
Except I have to say, I feel like Bravo is really trying to push the like, is Vishal gay narrative.
No, and so it's weird because like, am I weird that I'm not getting that anymore?
No,
I thought the first couple episodes it was doing that, but now it's just like the unraveling of Vishal.
Yeah, I
don't mean unraveling in a bad way.
Yeah, I also don't think that. Although I think they are trying to kind of like really play up the like bromance between him and Amrit.
Right.
Like when they were like doing the sparkler together.
Oh my God. I love those moments so
Yeah,
much
I
because
know. Because they're actually friends. Like, it's not like manufactured relationships. You know what I mean?
and that's the thing, it's like I feel like we're not getting this male close relationship dynamic on Bravo like we deserve. Again, they're giving us complex women, of course,
Well,
because
yeah.
but not so much because if you think about even in Vanderpump,
Mm-hmm.
those people, they turn on each other at a drop of a dime.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they're actually.
Probably
Yeah.
not at this point, because I was reading that Jax hasn't talked to Tom Sandoval since his wedding.
Oh, yeah, of course not. I mean, everything on Vanderpump is just fake. And like it's so refreshing to have a show where it really feels like, okay, I'm actually seeing like a realistic depiction of
I
what's
know.
going on
And
in
I'm
these
wondering
people's
if
lives.
people are even watching. Like I have one foot out of Vanderpump because it feels so manufactured.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna last. We'll see.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
then
like,
no, it's okay. So then Brian and Monica kind of see each other, and then their parents are there too. And I took issue with Mike, Brian's dad being like,
I'm flipping my page.
oh yeah, so like Mike, Brian's dad,
Yeah.
looks at Raj and is like, you trained her well. And he's
Yikes, I didn't catch that. Yikes.
yeah, I was like,
Yikes.
ooh. And then Raj kind of threw it back at him. He's like, as did you, being like, you trained your son also. Like,
Right.
it's not just training daughters. Like, I feel like that was just like a really sexist comment. So Mike demerits for that. Don't talk like that anymore.
Yes. 2020, baby.
But Raj, being the strong dad of his daughter, threw it right back up.
And I love
him.
that he picked out her dress.
Oh my God, I know. There's just
she looked absolutely stunning.
They are
she
so
looked like
adorable.
A princess.
I know. She actually DM'd us her look. Like,
where'd she get it from? Like what she?
Well, it's from India. I'm assuming that.
But her headpiece too.
Yeah. So, oh my God, can I just say? So I've said many different times that I'm not married. I don't plan to get married.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I would do if I was to get married is I would have an Indian wedding for sure.
Can I wear an outfit?
Well, it's not going to happen,
know it's not
so
called
don't get
an
too
outfit.
excited.
Oh, God.
But if I so red is like the marriage color for women. So that's awesome because red's my favorite color. But also, a lot of brides wear this like gorgeous thing that attaches from their ear across their face onto their nose, like onto their nose ring.
Oh, sweetie, I saw it when Katy Perry did that when she married Russell Brand.
Yeah, and like Gwen Stefani.
Is that
and
a
like,
little culture? When she
it's
got
totally
married to him in
cultural
India.
appropriation. it's absolutely that. But I'm
so
like,
bad.
I'm legit Indian, so I can do that.
Know,
I even
know.
have a nose
I'm totally
piercing.
giving you a hard time.
But so anyway, that's what those things remind me of. I think they're so beautiful. But and someone DM'd us this or something like that. But so you know how later on in the show she like shows Brian a photo from the event and he's like, "Oh, that's such a great picture." Yeah. So the picture, someone did some sleuthing and found out that the photo is from 2018 Diwali. Which means they filmed like a year and a half ago.
Remember when I said, I think this was 2018.
Yeah, and I thought it was like last year, but it's been like over a year. So, I mean, a lot can happen in a year. Like, who knows what's going on? And are they going to do a reunion like on Skype or something?
I don't know. Andy, I sent you the post that Andy's just feeling better.
I know. We're so happy that Andy is feeling better. Way to get through because, man, you hear these stories of
he was
just, like,
separated
ravaging
from his son.
People. Oh, my God. That must be so hard.
I know.
I'm, like, complaining about having to be with my kid all day, and, like, it's actually really just lovely. So,
can I just say this is, like, the highlight of my day?
I know.
Is this sad or happy?
I think it's both. It's a little bit both. Okay, so then we see Bali's mom. We meet Bali's mom, Reshma.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And they show all three of them.
She had really good advice.
What was her advice?
Her advice was like, listen, do not drink when you're confronting people.
I also thought that, like, she was like, Bali, you know, maybe you shouldn't have told Anisha everything that you guys talked about. And I sort of agree with that. Like, there are some things that... Let's get into that a little bit later.
You go first. Okay.
I want to get through Diwali because if there's anything more to get into. What is there? So then Bali... goes out with Amrit and Vishal to talk about stuff. You can tell Vishal has had a few drinks at this point, which he said he would need. And I don't know if you caught this, but Bali looks at them, speaking of them looking handsome, saying, oh, Salman and Shah Rukh Khan. Do you know who they are?
They flashed their picture really quick. I've never heard of them.
They are like the biggest movie stars in Bollywood. Like, literally,
like the Brad Pitt,
like even more if it's possible. Like when I would go to India, they're probably in their like late 50s now. They're probably like Brad Pitt age.
Like Robert De Niro?
No, like Brad Pitt. How old is Brad Pitt? Like 50?
50s, like
they're
50s?
Probably like that age then. Like so when I would go to India when I was a kid, my cousins, my girl cousins who were heterosexual would have like posters of Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan up in their rooms.
I want one in my office.
They were like the dreamboat, like, you know, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio type situation. So that was the reference that she made. So that was a compliment for sure. And they did look handsome, didn't they?
They did.
So then, like, Vishal's kind of like, I found out that you told Anisha everything. And Bali was like, well, yeah, I told her that you downplayed your friendship and that you said that you weren't close.
Which we could go back and forth about this.
Well, okay. So they show the, like, scene at the dinner. And let's just, like, he did agree with Amrit that Amrit and him are closer than he is with Anisha.
Again, he's a people pleaser, but he did.
He did say that. Like, he said, yeah, he agreed. But then he also said, like, Anisha is great. I love her, and she's a close friend of mine. So, like,
but Bali didn't relay that.
She didn't relay that, but then also, so as part of the whole Twitter explosion afterwards, and I got a DM from O'Malley.
Oh, interesting.
Bali's BF. And he was like, you know, this was the first time that I think it was the first time he met Vishal and Richa.
Which they didn't even show him.
They showed him sitting at the table looking uncomfortable.
They didn't show Richa.
Yeah, they did. She said something like she made one comment, but she was there. I feel like
I skipped over this, or like my thing went over.
Yeah, you probably just forgot. But so like O'Malley said, like, the dinner, first of all, was 3 hours. They were talking about it for 3 hours.
Yikes.
And he said he left the dinner basically thinking that Vishal had no relationship with Anisha. That's how much. So he clearly did downplay it more than what we saw.
Oh,
on the
I'm not
TV
talking
show.
About Fire Tower. Okay, we're talking about the original dinner. Okay.
We're talking about
Never
the original
mind.
dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Not to be confusing. So going back to that whole situation, like, what really happened, what was said, and like we only saw like a snippet of it, right? But it sounds like it really, like Vishal was kind of downplaying it. And my read is like, I don't think Anisha's in love with Vishal. But it is like we were talking about last time that like there is this stupid thing sometimes when men and women are friends that like, oh, there's something going on or there's something more. And I feel like maybe Vishal was downplaying their relationship because Richa was there.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I don't know, but it seems like maybe that would be the reason because he's obviously good friends with her.
Or he's just saying that because Amrit's in the room.
Or it's because he wants to protect his relationship with Amrit. Or maybe it's both. Like, who knows? But like, basically, the bottom line...
If you had to lean toward one way or the other.
Like, whose team am I on?
No, I think, like, meaning, like, for me, I lean toward he wants to appease Amrit in the moment.
And Richa, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's secondary. I think.
Yeah, he wanted Amrit to be like, like loved.
Yeah, like
and
affirm,
this is my best friend.
Is like, yeah, this is my best friend, and he's like, yeah, totally.
I think you're totally right. I think that is one thing that's been consistent with Vishal is that he does like to like please everyone.
Again, this is the unraveling, and we're unpeeling the onion, and what did you call it when he's coming face to face with himself?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
It sounded really smart.
My brain is.
But the more
melting.
like I'm seeing this show a lot through Vishal's eyes. And it's not a comfortable place to be in. It's the most uncomfortable place to be on the show.
Yeah, and I feel like he sees that there's all this attention on him and what he said, and he like feels like he really wants to set the record straight with what he said, and so he starts kind of raising his voice, and Bali is like, do not use that tone.
Hell yeah, Bali. No,
she's
Bali's
like shuts him down. She's like, don't like, I'm only being like entertaining this conversation because of your mom, because she's like in with the whole auntie crowd too. And like she kind of like tells him like it is, and he definitely listens. But he's kind of like, listen, I didn't say that like she's not my friend. And Bali's like, no, you absolutely did downplay a relationship, and that's not cool. And I do think it's not cool.
But Bali wasn't recognizing that he said the latter part, which was something along the lines of I love her, she's my best friend, or something.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, like all of them were kind of not listening to each other. I feel
no. That's
like everyone was
television.
Like, this is my reality, and I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
Exactly.
So they that conversation kind of goes nowhere, and then Bali storms off, and she like can't get back into the building, which is just so hilarious. And then so that's kind of what happens at Fire Tower. So then, Anisha says like, I didn't go because I didn't want to deal with the drama, and I wanted to be with my family on this special occasion. Oh, and then we see just briefly Anisha meets with one of her models for her clothing brand.
Yes.
Which is called Currently, and she designs a lot for plus-size models, and people like ask her why she does that, and she's like, well, people design clothes for babies, and they're not babies, which I thought was kind of funny. So, yeah, and then, of course, her mom is in there, like, giving her all this style advice, and they just have a really great relationship. Yeah. Then there's a scene with Sean, Vishal, Amrit, and Dylan
I love
bar.
Amrit's blue shirt on him. That's a really nice color.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I was too focused on what they were talking about, which was that Nicholas is coming. Oh, and Vishal says in his confessional, like, my relationship with Bali, my friendship with her is 6 feet underground, but like I don't want to lose my friendship with Anisha, which is like it does show that he really does care about his friendship with her. But then Amrit's like telling them that Nicholas is coming, and then he talks about his sleeping arrangements, which
my gosh,
I thought
so
was
uncomfortable.
I was like, well, okay, so this is a thing though that like is very real. Like I think I joked about this in one of our other episodes, but it's so true. It's like, because I am not married to Patrick, even though we have a son and we live together and like all of that, if we ever went to go stay with my parents, I guarantee you they would make us sleep in separate. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just this like weird, it's like, it's not moral. It's like a rule that like they just cannot bend on. And so to see Amrit's mom being so accepting of that and being like, yeah you two
I thought
can
that
sleep
was
in
amazing.
the same. I was like, that is so awesome. His parents are like the best. It's just like it's so amazing to see.
And
them
I loved when
accepting.
Amrit's mom was like feeding Nicholas when he came in.
Oh my God.
And I wrote again, can't deal with all this food.
So much food, and that's like how Indians show love. There was also the food, like when Anisha had the model over, and her mom, they're like, Mom, she's like, do you want food? And they're like, no, and then she brings it anyway.
Well,
that's like so
like,
Indian.
Right now, all I want to do is eat.
Yeah.
And so it's like the mind fuck of seeing all these people next to each other.
I
And I
know.
also wrote when they go to the brewery, the
Yeah, like
boys.
when will we ever
I
be able
wrote,
to do that
oh, my
again?
husband's getting me more wine. I know,
Oh,
it's like love.
what a
That's true love.
guy. What
I
a
know. So
guy.
I wrote miss that. Plain just miss that.
Like also,
Like
do
I
you
wasn't paying attention to really the conversation because I was just like, look at them.
look at
They're
them
at a
just
brewery,
hanging?
like just like a bunch of people.
Is that accompanied with
Thank
like a
you.
little bit of fear that like maybe we'll never be able to do
I
that
am so
again?
I just like because you and I, we like to go and have a couple drinks. It's part of our
Totally.
friendship. Like,
Yes.
this is what we do. We work together, we play together. And it's just like
Now we have
seeing
to talk to
people.
each other
I
over
know, you're under a
FaceTime.
blanket. I'm in a closet, like locked in a closet in a small space. Like, that would be perfectly fine for a toddler to like squeeze into.
But
I'm like a
not an
grown ass
adult.
adult, like squeezed into this with like, oh, and I have to say, it's like on the bottom of this is my son's old IKEA mattress that
Oh
has
my
now
God.
become the dog bed, and I put a new sheet over it.
You know what? You gotta
folded
do what you
Because
gotta do.
my butt, it's like, oh my God. Do you miss
I
the breweries? I mean, not that I'm a beer
yes.
person, but I just like, I want
I
to go
just
out.
I just miss like going to get a cup of coffee. Like I
I
understand.
mean, like, you want to be like Ben Affleck.
I
but
want to
you're
be like
gonna
Ben
be
Affleck walking
responsible.
through the Starbucks drive-through to get my fucking latte. That's all I want.
You know what? Starbucks is garbage. I mean, sponsor us, but like, you know what?
Starbucks, be our sponsor, but you guys are garbage, by the way. Okay, so Amrit admits that he's nervous about the long distance thing. And, it's clear that Nicholas is head over heels for Amrit, and they show that, like, Amrit hasn't really thought about
I
their
know.
timeline in terms of getting married. So they're definitely trying to show that, like, Amrit is kind of like half 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of. That's the read I got.
Interesting.
I'm hoping not, because Nicholas is clearly an amazing person. And,
How old
like,
is
the way that
Nicholas?
I don't know, but the way Amrit's family loves him
I
is also like
know.
that is hard to find, right?
Yeah.
And then Vishal says, like, I think Amrit is a makeout slut. He loves playing around.
Yikes.
And that he's like, I'm not sure that a long-term relationship is actually going to last for him, which is interesting, like him kind of meddling in Amrit's relationship.
I think we also should keep in mind that different relationships for different people. Maybe him and Nicholas have a agreement.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean,
who knows?
I feel like the show is definitely trying to like show a certain perspective, and like it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going on. So, but I'd be curious to know if they're still together. We'll see.
Oh, I wrote Nicholas. I think I should talk about this. Nicholas washing his hands. So relatable.
Oh my God. Can they just
remember?
show shots of people washing their hands? It's so
It's
soothing.
like the first thing he does when he gets to their house. He
What?
goes to the sink and he washes his hands. And
You
I was
know,
like, look
Nicholas is going to
this
outlast
is
us
all
all.
of us.
Yeah.
I know.
There's no way he has coronavirus. He's so
oh my
good
gosh, how many of us, raise your hands, are going to have OCD?
Oh my God.
After this about
Literally,
washing our-
I feel like everyone is going to be OCD and everyone is going to be agoraphobic by the time this thing is over.
I'm going to wash my hands. And also, it's like, if I think I'm going to drop this running every day, I will admit, after this whole epidemic,
Yeah.
like, you thought I was Forrest Gump before. It's like, I'm going to be running around the world.
Dude, yeah, you're going to be like, I'm going to
Oh
go
my
to
God.
every public place
I
and just like
can't.
rub my face all over someone.
Oh my gosh, did you read about that influencer that was licking toilets and they got coronavirus? Do you think that making that?
That is, oh my
Isn't
God.
that disgusting?
Yeah, first of all, do not lick toilets.
First
Second
of all, if you're gonna, trash takes itself out. I've been saying, like, trash takes itself
Oh my
out. Like, you're gonna
gosh.
lick a toilet.
And like trying like to prove what? That like you're not going to get it? You're going to
It was
get
some
it.
challenge.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so then there's a scene with Raj and Monica, which we already talked about, that they just have like this really cute relationship, and that Monica feels like she wants to like pursue her passion of dance, which we totally 100%.
So I said, get this woman money.
Yes.
Get this woman money.
Get her some money.
Like get her famous, that we can give her, like that the public can fund her.
She's got it.
Being famous.
I feel like it's gonna happen. I have really high hopes for her.
Now,
Monica, if you do like an online Bollywood class, please tell me, because
that's
I've
actually
always
a really good idea.
I've always wanted to take one, and I want you to be my teacher, and I would pay money for that for sure.
I would pay money
for
through
sure.
this whole thing.
Absolutely,
I think she should do that.
Yeah, so let us know. DM us.
I am biting at the bit.
Okay, Bali's mom conversation. We talked about that a little bit.
Can we talk about
Bali's
Brian
dad?
and Monica?
No, can we talk about Bali's dad?
Wait. Oh my God.
Did you miss that part?
Yes. No. So many questions. And again, we're seeing complex characters on this show.
Yes.
That we have never seen before.
Okay.
And I don't give a shit like what your friends like and don't like. You need to steer them the fuck to the show, because they're the most... They're the characters you're not seeing anywhere else.
No, and like...
And you can call us on that.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a man working at Victoria's
No.
Secret?
No, and does he have a tape measure around his...
Like, is he going around measuring people? Is he the manager? Is he like
Is he
cleaning
sorting
up?
double D's? Is he
like,
sorting out the A's? Is
like,
he sorting the thongs?
Is he in corporate? Like,
he knows
what?
more about garter belts than you and I. He knows what looks good on you and I versus what we know about what looks good on ourselves.
Oh my God. And then when Bali's like, he's coming back with like cheekies for me and my daughter.
What's a cheeky?
Like underwear, like cheeky underwear.
Does that mean butt? I am so out of, like, I get my underwear from Everlane. Like, they are just like basic.
Oh, well, like, yeah. I mean, I'm all about the like as close to 100% cotton as you can get, but because I'm so boring.
I realized the other day, like, all of my, because black's my favorite color, and all of my underwear is black. I was looking for a headband because I sometimes toss my running
You
headbands.
grabbed a pair of
I couldn't. I grabbed a couple pairs of bras, but I was like, not it.
No. But so anyway, so I need
many
to know, like, what is going on that I want to know.
It takes a real man to have that job. A real effing man.
100%. I'm just like, I just want to like clap and just be,
we're on our feet clapping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm just saluting him with a bra, in a bra and underwear.
I'm like, get me in the
Not
right
very
size.
sexy though.
Get me in
just
the right
find
size.
me like full coverage. Like, again, half a t-shirt bra.
Yes.
Like bikini boy briefs or whatever. Like, get me that in Victoria's, and I am saluting, and Indra's there, and we're both saluting you in our underwear.
100%. So Bali and Reshma are talking, her mom, and she tells her what happened. And we already talked about this, that like Reshma's like, you know, you're the older one of the group. Like, I don't think you should have lied to Anisha about what happened, but you didn't really need to tell her everything. And I agree with that. I
have opinions.
What do you think?
So Bali was right. So say, like, if someone was talking about you, Indra, and they were talking to me, I would tell you.
Okay, but
if someone was talking about me.
But let's turn it around. She has more loyalty to Anisha because Anisha, like, starts throwing Vishal under the bus, like, to the max. She's like, he's the village idiot, like, small dick energy.
All Bali did is, so say, like, if it's like, what is that? Not Price is Right, but it's like, Let's Make a Deal. Do you know that game show?
Deal or No Deal?
Well, it's like you can get box 1, box 2,
yeah,
or
Deal
box
or
3.
No Deal.
Yeah, all she did was lift the box up to show what was inside.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I believe Bali did.
But, like, Bali didn't tell Vishal that, like, Anisha was calling him names.
No. Her allegiance, we know where her allegiance is.
Yeah, so, I mean, there is a little bit of a thing there. But, I mean, yeah, I think she could, I think telling Anisha that, like, you know, I'm a little confused. It seemed like Vishal was like really downplaying your relationship last night, and that didn't really sit well with me. But like, didn't she get a little bit more specific about something? Oh,
Well,
the part about
Bali,
the crush, I don't think that she needed to say that.
I think Bali didn't, and I don't think she lied. I don't think she remembered the truth the right way.
Yeah, she didn't remember everything that Vishal said, and then she wasn't willing to listen to it later.
But I think that, so my theory is like Bali should have told, but then that kind of puts a little, like something in my theory that maybe she shouldn't have because she didn't know, like she wasn't saying the whole truth. She wasn't lying because it's how she remembered it.
Yeah, she wasn't lying. I think she was like, my takeaway is that like you were downplaying this relationship and that wasn't cool. And then they just kind of get into like the nitty gritty, like of who said what and when. And I'm like, it doesn't actually matter the specifics of what you said. It's the bigger picture here. Like Vishal definitely was like not really acknowledging that he had a friendship with Anisha, and Bali was not cool with that. And she told Anisha. And I think that's okay.
See, I think so I took it as Vishal was acknowledging the relationship with Anisha and was saying, yeah, I love her, but maybe we're not as close as...
No, but then you get all this information, like just hearing from O'Malley that he left that dinner feeling like Vishal had no relationship with Anisha. Like there was some stuff that we didn't see, you know? Like that clearly was not the message that was getting put across. So Bali, though, is like she listens to her mom. She's like, yeah, you know, I keep telling people to like talk about things and get past them. So I need to be the bigger person here. And she's like, I need to Dalai Lama this.
And I think the thing is like Bali's a very complex character because if you saw Bali on paper,
yeah,
I think she's easy. Not I would judge her, but for people, she's easy to judge.
Yeah.
But when you get into her life, she has a really good head on her shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, she has been through some shit. Like, she, like, has been through 2 divorces, like, a move to India. Like, that has got to be hard. Coming back, she's a single mom. She works full-time. She had the button and she doesn't anymore.
Well, the thing is
her
like
dad works at Victoria's Secret.
I know. You expect someone who has a button like that not to have street smarts, and I think
she absolutely does.
She has street smarts.
Totally.
And that's the thing is like with someone that has street smarts and is quick on their feet and quick with words.
Yeah.
Like she is, and this is there's a lot of Bravo reality Bravo celebrities. How do you say that?
Bravo celebrities. I don't know.
It's a hard one. but the ones that stand out, like the Nene Leaks, the Bethanies, and I'll put Bali in there, are quick on their feet to respond.
Yeah.
And they don't take BS.
Yeah, and she does, yeah.
And so that's why Bali can be elevated into that caliber.
Totally. She's an amazing character on the show. But you can also tell she is just like, she's wise. Like she knows what's going on. So anyway, so I think the whole thing, like, then they have that lunch and Anisha's basically just like, I would like you to apologize for saying that. And Amrit apologizes and she accepts it. And then Vishal just like, he won't apologize because he's getting stuck in the minutia. He's like, I didn't say this, that, and the other thing.
I know, but sometimes you just need to say you're sorry.
But it's like, yeah, maybe you should just be like, I'm sorry that like I misled people. Like we are good friends and whatever. And like, I do care about you. Like it could have ended so easily. And like, he's just being stubborn, I feel like.
Again, I think this is why I really wish I hope we have a Family Karma reunion.
Oh my God, I know. They need to get into it.
Because it's like, again, like I do believe, I've talked about Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
In past like episodes. This is Vishal's Dante's Inferno. Like he is going through all the levels and there are mirrors in front of him. And this is, I feel like, one of the first times that it's like, Vishal, you do this is what happens. Like,
yeah.
Vishal, like, you treat this person this way, this is what happens. And like, sweetheart, you can't avoid it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to read you the tweets?
With who?
Well, remember I said that they're the tweets from the
with
cast?
everyone.
So Vishal's like, he's still going at it in these tweets. He's tweeting during the show last night.
He tweeted us.
Yeah, he puts us in it. Oh my gosh, you're right. He says, how is me saying I love Anisha and calling her my good friend downplaying our relationship? So, Vishal,
I hearted that. Should I have not hearted that?
No, it's okay.
This is the only thing I looked at. I was like, oh, Vishal, I love you.
Vishal, the deal is that, like, we know that you care about Anisha and that, like, you said that and everything, but it seems like the overall picture was that you were downplaying it. So, like, again, it's just it doesn't matter the very specific things you said. There was an overall vibe that people were getting that indicated that you were not into the relationship. Is that fair to say?
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Casa Bonita's trending in Colorado. Sorry, I was just...
Deanna's, like, not listening to me. She's on Twitter.
Okay, Casa Bonita checks are bouncing. The end. Keep going.
Okay. Casa Bonita, for everyone who doesn't know, is like a Mexican
Everyone
food.
knows what Casa Bonita is.
Is it national?
Yeah, because they were... Okay, so Andrew, before we moved here, he wanted to have his birthday at Casa Bonita because it's on South Park.
Oh, okay. But I do think it's only in Colorado.
Yeah, but since it was on South Park...
Everybody knows about it.
Everyone knows about Casa... Like, I remember when it was on and I was working in New York.
Yeah.
And, like, people were sending, like, the Casa Bonita clips around.
Oh, got it. Okay. So anyway, so that's what Vishal says. Then Bali says dinner with the boys was not just a 3-minute dinner. It was more like 3 hours of a lot of talk. So she's referencing that, like, they talked a lot. Then Vishal is like, not staying quiet today. I did nothing to make Anisha think that we were not friends after the gala. Here is the text I sent her the next day that was mentioned at the dinner.
And what did it say?
So he shows a screenshot and it says, seriously, I'm swamped right now. I'm not ignoring you. I called because of the text I got. We will talk later. So the text that he got, I guess Anisha sent him kind of an aggressive text. We heard that.
Okay.
And it was like, why aren't you calling me back? I think that's what she said. And he says, we will talk later, although there is nothing to discuss as I'm not involved, truly. I have 2 supportive mothers that want what's best for me. So I think that we have to remember that, like, this all started with, like, it wasn't even about them. It was about, like, the moms not getting along because of Vishal and Richa's relationship. And Anisha...
Okay. So it starts there. Let's like, I wish there was a drawing for this. So it starts there. And why is he mentioning that?
Because, like, at Diwali, the drama at Diwali wasn't even about him and Anisha. It was about Vishal and Richa's moms not getting along. Remember?
Yeah, but this is before the fire tower or whatever.
Yeah, this was, like, the first episode where
right.
like Lopa Auntie calls Vishal a moron, and like there's like this whole discussion. Basically, they don't like each other. Vishal's mom and Richa's mom don't like each other, which is a problem because they're dating and they're engaged. So that was the drama at Diwali. And then Anisha tries to talk to Vishal after that, but he's ignoring her. He's not getting back to her. And she's like, and she's taking it personally, so she thinks like something happened at Diwali that means they
Which
can't
is
be
totally
friends anymore.
I'm like team Anisha on that, because it was like, if I heard through the grapevine about drama, I'd be like, hey, like, I'm here for you. Like, hey, it's me. I'm here for you. You want to talk about it? Like, that's me.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
again, with Vishal, it's like he
didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I've only seen this man for 4 episodes at that point.
So he didn't want to talk about it. And he says here, like, I don't want to talk about it, basically, in this text. And then Anisha says, no problem. I respect that. So
then why was it brought up?
Well, I feel like then it seems like there was just radio silence. Like, he just stopped calling her back and texting her for some reason, and she took it personally. I don't know. Again, like, there's something, I don't know.
I think, I'll say this one more time. There's how many main characters on the show? 7? 6?
I think there's 6 or 7.
The overlapping thing that I think is going on is that no one's discussing is we're all on this show. There's drama. I want to talk about it with you. And I'm this outlet that you can open up to.
Yeah.
And that's what Anisha's saying. and
Yeah.
he's ignoring her.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so much more than two friends. It's like the layer is that they're on this
It's the
television
reality
show.
TV show. You think
And
so? That's
and it's
interesting.
season one. It's season one.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're seasoned going through this. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm going through this too.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about it. Like, what happened that night? The cameras were on. I'm hearing all this stuff. Open up to me. And it's the radio silence that is just like pierces the heart.
Yeah, and
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I feel like both of them were just reading each other's cues completely wrong. Like they didn't really understand what the other one was going after. So I hope that like they talk about it more and they get to the bottom of like what was really happening.
I think they will.
I don't, I think Anisha and
Interesting.
Vishal are both really stubborn. Like Anisha was just like shutting him down left and right at that lunch. She was like, "Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like you didn't apologize and that's what I came here for, so we're not talking about it anymore." And just shut down.
Do you blame her?
No, I don't, but I think that it's not a productive way to actually like get to the
No.
bottom of what's happening.
I think again, like I think I should say I used to be someone that shuts down very easily.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to kind of work beyond that. And I think that what we're seeing too, if you really look at this from a microscopic lens,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I'm a garbage person that's watched a lot of reality television show. So I think that gives me that kind of lens. They are still kind of conscious that the camera is on them, and you can tell when Amrit and Nicholas go to bed together in their clothes.
Yeah.
And he says, "I haven't seen you for a month," and he's like, "Shh, don't talk about it," or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're waiting for the cameras to shut down.
Yeah, so they
and
can
then
actually
get
have a
to-
real moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not trying to speak for Anisha. If I had to guess, it's like she's still getting comfortable with the cameras around. Her best friend is acting kind of like an asshole. She's trying to like be real with him. He's not being real back. And so she is just kind of shutting down in front of the cameras because she doesn't know. Or maybe that's her MO. Maybe that's how she
I think that's partly her MO, and I think it's partly probably what you're saying. And I think that, like, yeah, I mean, I think if anyone hasn't done anything wrong here, it's Anisha. Like,
yeah, 100%. I'm Team Anisha.
I'm not really on anyone's team.
Yeah, I mean, I say that too. I mean, the thing is like, again, I'm kind of Team Vishal because, again, this is his inferno that he's walking through.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that the problem we get with these reality shows, and again, I'm putting my pop culture like hat on as like someone that like a Socrates, someone that knows a lot about whatever, like my pop culture Socrates hat on, is these are the unique moments we get, because once we get to the point where we have a Nene Leakes and they know the camera's on them, it's going to be performances, hopefully by not this crew.
Yeah.
But like this is very unique because we're seeing people being like adjusting to these cameras.
Yeah, and
it's not a performance. Like I really believe that these are not performances at all. Like they're just getting to know themselves.
I know, and
through the lens.
And if there's a season 2, like I hope they can maintain that.
Exactly.
But
and I think that's why Vishal is so special in this season.
But think about it, like this filmed in the end of 2018. Now we're like never going to have TV again because we're all like locked in our houses. So by the time we get season 2, it's going to be like several years later.
I think with okay, so this is just a theory. With Andy healthy again, with hopefully this will peak in the next month. Like I'm talking about coronavirus. Hopefully it'll start going down. Hopefully they start shooting a lot this summer. It'll probably go up again.
Girl, they're not going to be shooting anything this summer.
You don't think so?
No. Like, we're going to be in this shit for like 6 months minimum. That's what I think.
It's really bad. I'm just trying to be... I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm a real Debbie Downer about that.
No, I mean,
but
it's
maybe
so
if
true.
we plan for the worst, then if things go better, then we can be like so happy about it. But
I mean, do you want to know how I really feel?
Yeah.
I really want a cake right now. We've been talking about having cake
Dude,
on this podcast. What have
my
you been
birthday was on
eating?
Friday, and
I
I was gonna bake
know.
myself a fucking cake.
Oh, damn,
And then I
Duncan
didn't
Hines.
have any, like, I was gonna make it from scratch because I didn't
Oh,
have any cake
shit.
mix.
You're making your own birthday cake. Coronavirus.
I
Damn.
know, but
Is
then
that happy or sad?
I didn't have enough powdered sugar to make the icing, and I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm having a
No.
cake
Oh,
without
no.
icing."
No, you're playing yourself if you think you're gonna have.
So I'm
What
gonna
did
make a
you
cake,
have?
and I'll drop half of it off at your house. Anyway,
I'm
okay,
ordering a cake.
we have to talk about Brian and Monica because that's the other
Brian,
big thing.
talk about playing yourself. Brian, stop playing yourself.
Okay, so if there's anything that I feel like is maybe manufactured a little bit on here, it's like Brian suddenly being like, I want
playing himself.
Monica.
He wants her because he can't get her. That's it.
He did look genuinely disappointed.
I know, because he's fooling himself. I'm such a bitch, but like he's fooling himself.
I think, in what way? Like, what do you mean?
Because I think he thinks like, oh, look, it's like when my kids are like, look at me, I'm a grown up now. Like I pooped in the potty and I did all this. And it's like, I can handle like making myself toast, you know? It's like, just because
Like,
you did
Brian,
XYZ doesn't mean you're ready for.
Brian, you can't even do your laundry, man. Like, you got to figure that shit out.
I think Monica's a catch. Don't get me wrong. But I think you think that this is some kind of formula, and just because you did this and this, like she's the next step.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready for her, because I think he's still out of her. She's out of his league.
I think so too. I also think that she's not ready either.
No.
Like she is clearly like having a lot of like realizations about her career and like what she really wants to do as like a working woman. And I think she really wants to focus on that and then like figure out other stuff. I mean, the other thing is like Monica's really interesting because she's 27 years old and she's like, she doesn't have sex. Like, is she a virgin?
Probably. Yes, she said that.
So I wonder, like, how that affects all of her. I don't know. It's really interesting. Like, I wonder if she's interested in any other guys. It seems like if she's interested in anyone, it's Brian, but she's, like, not focused on the love part of her life right now. So she's put that into a box, as she said.
Good for her, because she's fulfilling herself before she could fulfill someone else.
Yeah, and she's 27. Like, that's what you should be doing.
You shouldn't fulfill someone else. You should be filling yourself, and then someone's filling themselves. But again, just because you pooped in the potty and like wiped your own ass and like you made it out of the bathroom doesn't mean you're ready for a relationship.
No, and I think you're totally right about that. He keeps saying like, I'm ready. I'm like Brian 2.0. I'm like totally ready for like a real relationship now. And it's like, but I did actually, the part that he said, like he described what happened when Monica kind of told him that she liked him the first time, and like she kind of pulled over after a party and like told him, and he was like, you know, I wasn't ready because like I think he said some things that made a lot of sense. Like he's like, we know each other so well that I knew that if we started dating that it would just accelerate really, really fast. And I wasn't like ready for that. And I think that was probably really wise of him to like realize that.
Yeah, and I'm again, like I'm a jokester. So I hope if Brian's listening or Brian's stans are listening, like they're not really taking what I said literally.
No, I think what you said is what you said is totally on point though as well. Like I think you can have like good instincts about stuff like that and also be kind of like an idiot.
Well, it's like the Destiny's Child. Like, are you ready for this jelly? No,
Yeah.
He's not ready for that jelly. Like, let's be honest.
Brian, you are not ready for that.
You
jelly.
are not ready for Monica's jelly. And jelly means so many different things, you know?
Oh my God. That is like, we'll have
right?
to, yeah. Well, I am interested
That's like the theme.
see.
That's the theme of like this episode.
So they tease next week that like then he kind of comes back at her like, you took me off guard and whatever. So
I think yeah.
Maybe
we'll
they're
address that.
Maybe they're referencing like the first time that she told him. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm excited though.
I'm excited. I mean, like again, like I had a really shitty day today. Like today was like my realization that this is going to last a long time, and it
Yeah.
might not be the best circumstance. And again, I have a loving family. The fights I'm getting in is because my husband doesn't want to listen to my Instagram live D nice 80s R&B. But like it honestly, like this is such, I think like the thing is like I want to just post it all over Twitter, is like, tell your friends. It's like,
Yeah.
we need so much lightness. Like, there's such sad shit out there to watch.
Yeah.
And like crime stuff, and to watch these complex characters
Yeah.
that are showing like their heart and soul,
And
not performing for the cameras.
And like, as someone who is Indian American, I am just so like happy and like proud to see an all Indian American cast finally being like presented in real pop culture in their real selves, like as their real selves. And so that's something to celebrate as well, I think.
And I can say for me as like a white person, like or just as a person, is like I've fallen in love with these characters, and not like romantic, but like I love these characters, and they're not characters, these people.
Yeah.
And they're so supportive of their fans.
Totally.
Like,
they're
I
so
feel like
active on social media.
You and I are in constant contact with them.
Yeah.
And they are open books. And like, for example, I asked Anisha, I was like, what lipstick are you wearing? And she was just like, she just responded right back. I think she said it was Cruella by NARS, which I'm ordering. But like, these people are available to their fans, and we don't get that on a lot of different shows that we watch.
I know.
I really want to make this show like an extended family of their families, because
totally,
we're all karma heads. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
hashtag karma heads.
You know, thank you to everyone who has supported us so far. Totally, just go on Apple Podcasts, smash those 5 stars.
Smash them.
Smash them.
Smash them, write a review. And like, follow us on Twitter. Indra, to be honest, Indra handles the Instagram. I handle, my name's Deanna, in case you didn't know. Or whose voice was who. I'm handling Twitter, but we're like constantly emailing each other.
Yeah.
And this is just like connected such a larger community, I feel like, in this time of seclusion.
Yeah.
I have this like whole new group of friends, which sounds really weird and fucked up, but like...
No, and it's so perfect at a time when like you need virtual friends.
Yeah, because it's like I've talked to my virtual friends more than like... friends, you know.
Totally. So stay in touch. Like, we love hearing from you.
We love it.
And so keep doing that. Keep listening. We'll be back next week for another recap. And how far are you in Tiger King? Are you done?
So I have one more episode, and we'll do Tiger King. Can we say maybe on Thursday?
If I get that far.
What episode are you on?
I think I'm in the middle of episode 4, so I'm like halfway through.
What do you think?
It's like, it is crazy. I think it was really hyped for me, like, by everyone I know. So I'm kind of like, you know, whenever that happens, like, it's never as crazy as you think it's going to be. But it makes me very uncomfortable. I have to say that. I'm uncomfortable, like, the whole time I'm watching it. But
I think it's interesting because someone posted on Twitter who's Asian, was like, could you imagine if this was Asian people raising big cats, like the amount of op-eds that would have popped up, and the racism, which I thought was an interesting take on how freely white people are getting off in this. So just something to kind of put in your mind while you watch it.
Occurred to me actually already, and it's a very true statement. So we'll talk about it more in a separate bonus episode. And if there are other things that you think we should recap that like you're binging right now and you think we'd enjoy, especially if they have like South Asian people in them.
Exactly. So the things I'm trying to put in Indra's lap, which if she decides or not decides, is Real Housewives of New York is starting, and Real Housewives of Potomac.
I'm gonna do it. And we'll just dip our toes in maybe at the end of the episode. So here's what I'm
doing is I'm going to start watching. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Is I'm going to start watching the last season of Potomac. Because I've only watched the very first season and then I stopped, so I'm going to watch the last
I'm just
season.
going to start fresh. I'm going to
Hell
go
yeah.
in with like no information and just see what happens.
Well, let me just entice you this way. There's someone named Robin who always seems like she's waking up from a nap.
Okay. Well, and with that, I don't think there's anything more we have to say.
Namaste, bitches.
Namaste. Yeah, namaste, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.